Welkom bij een nieuwe aflevering van Dubbelspel, de podcast van tennis en vooral vandaag Padel Vlaanderen, want we zijn aanbeland in de heilige week, zou je kunnen zeggen, van het padelleven in België, in Vlaanderen, in Wallonië. Want natuurlijk de vierde keer al de Lotto Brussels Premier Padel. We gaan het erover hebben in het fantastische kader van Tour en Taxis in Brussel, samen met padelfanaat, mag ik ondertussen zeggen, ex-tennisser Philippe de Wolf. En met ex-tennisser en nu padelprof Clement Geens.
Hallo.
We gaan deze podcast opnemen in het Engels. Clement, yeah, we're going to record this podcast in English. Because
perfect.
when you're in the national team, it seems, mostly English is being spoken, eh?
Yeah, in the national team we quite always speak in English because you have, well, French players from Wallonia that speak French, you have Dutch players that speak Dutch, so at the end everyone speak better English than French or Dutch, so it's more easy. Also the coach, Juan Pablo, speaks French and English and Spanish, but not Dutch, so yeah, we used to speak in English.
Yeah. Philippe, in the Davis Cup team, what was spoken? English, French, Dutch, German?
Mostly French.
Mostly French.
Because a lot of the Flemish-speaking players could speak French and not the other way around. So, and it was good to learn French for us young players. So we didn't mind to speak French.
Okay.
Nice.
Clement, for you, this is a home game, eh? You could have come by bike.
Yes, by bike maybe it's a little bit far.
How far away is it from Uccle?
I live in Wavre now, so...
You live in Wavre, okay.
So let's say 30 kilometers, so I could do it by bike, but it's not ideal, so I came by car. But yes, home tournament, always really happy to be here, it's a nice event.
Home tournament, but it was hanging by a thread.
Yes.
What was happening? Because, Philippe, you told me, there were problems between FIP, the International Federation, and the Association of Padel Players.
Yeah.
You know something about it, but I guess Clement knows...
He knows much more about it, I think.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. I know I know some stuff. I don't know if I know everything. I don't know if there is really someone that knows really everything except the president of FIP and maybe the top players of the association, so it's always difficult to know exactly what was going on. But yes, the players were complaining a little bit about the situation, the prize money, the size of the draw. They wanted a change, and FIP changed some rules at the end of the year without advertising the players, but at the end it's like this. So yeah, there were two tournaments that the top players did not come. Here it was...
Brussels was one of them.
It was the third one. At the end, everyone is here, but it was in danger, yes.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable because they organized a boycott and no one from the top 100, except for one tournament that LeBron played, I think.
Yeah, in Cancun, LeBron Stupa played, and let's say I played as well, a few more played, but the first one in Rijon, nobody from the top 100.
That's unbelievable. If you try to organize that in tennis, I think it will never happen.
No.
If you ask for everybody from top 100 not to play, there will always be players who say, "Oh, for me it's interesting. If I go there, there's money, there's points for free. Let's go there." And in Padel, they managed to do it. That's quite incredible.
Yeah, true. They managed to do it for Rijon, and then for Cancun, they postponed the signing deadline 2 times, I think. And at the end, LeBron Stupa signed in, and a few other pairs from the top 100 signed in, but not much, like 4 or 5 pairs maybe. So at the end, there were not so many top players. And then for Brussels, it was still in danger. And I don't know actually what really changed, but at the end, we are happy that everyone is here.
Probably.
And now, how is it? Who decides that nobody is going to play? Who do you talk to? Are there managers or do
you have a WhatsApp group?
Representatives?
Yeah, exactly. There is.
Yeah,
there is a WhatsApp group for the association, well, the players association. And then there was another WhatsApp group with like the players that were sending information or asking players not to sign in or stuff like this. But at the end, who decides really? It's the players. We were always we could always do what we wanted to do. The association always said that they supported whatever the decision of the players, but of course they wanted the players to be together. But it's tough because at the end, it's not an individual sport, you are two, but it's your career. So everyone has different, they're at different stage of their life. For example, I don't know, I'm 29, my partner is 23. We are not at the same point of our career. So every situation is different, so it's tough that they all agree on one thing, but they did at the beginning, and then now not anymore. So,
and afterwards, when you signed in Cancun, did somebody say to you, you didn't support the boycott?
I received some messages, yes,
Oh, you
from
did?
2-3 players, not much. I received also messages from players that understood what I was doing and why I was playing. Because, for example, for my situation, I disagree about everything that was said from the association of the players. Let's say if they added points in the FIP tournaments, which I think is good. Maybe they added too much, but the point of view is okay. And also at my situation, I will play maybe, let's say, 2 more years maximum, because I'm 29. I have also, let's say, a professional career that I want to keep going, maybe a family life that I want to have. And the issue was, if I was not playing in Cancun, I would lose many points and I would not enter anymore in Premier Padel. So I would have to go to play FIP to take points again. But I don't want to travel to the other side of the world to take points, because I don't want to do it in my situation now. I would have done it maybe 5 years ago.
When you were 20.
Yes. So everyone is at a different stage, so it's tough to all agree on something.
Okay.
But I don't know all the details, so it's tough to speak about this, because I don't know exactly everything that was said, and so
And probably, Philippe, some lobbying from the organization as well, eh?
Yeah, I think Vincent Lauresens, he went
the organizer?
to Miami and another
Yeah, he was
tournament
there in
to
Miami.
talk to the top players,
Ah, voilà.
and I think he did some. He talked well. He
Yeah,
spoke well.
he must have convinced them.
probably he did a lot. I know some players had some pressure from the sponsors as well, because of course they are being paid to bring visibility for the brand.
to
If
play.
to play at the end. If they are not playing, well, the brand is maybe not losing money, but not earning the money they should. So there are a lot of troubles.
Yeah. And when you look at the participants list, it's great, eh? Hey, when I see Coelho Tapia, Chingoto Galan, LeBron, they all play in the women's as well, eh? Jose Maria Sanchez, Brea Triay, they all play.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's also the strength of this tournament. If you look at the surroundings here, it's beautiful. It's well organized. It's nice to players. There are a lot of people coming in. I watch regularly the other tournaments and the first days of P2 tournaments, sometimes P1 tournaments in the Middle East. There's almost nobody in the stands.
Yeah.
Like here, the first days, even qualifying, people watching this.
Yeah.
Belgium really likes to watch professional padel. And that is a strong point of this tournament, and I guess the players know that as well. They're treating really nicely here, and then they like to come here, and that's what.
Yeah. Does this one stand out? Because you've been traveling the world playing padel tournaments. It stands out.
Well, I think yes, it's well organized. Also, it's in Europe. It's so much easier for the players to come here. It's shorter, the flight and everything. Also, like Philippe said, there are a lot of people coming to watch here, which I think is the 6th Premier Padel of the year, and it's the first one that there are so many people. The first day of qualifications, the first one that it's already sold out for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Even in Miami, it was not full during the week. Well, in Doha, in the Middle East, of course, there are not many people watching. That's, I think, in many sports the case, but in padel as well.
Yeah.
So, it's the first one of the year that it's full, and I think it's not maybe the only one, but, in the top 3 or 5, that's for sure.
Yeah. And you see, Philippe, you've been playing in your active career. You played in Qatar and some of those Emirates. There weren't any people watching then. And when you look at the tournaments now, it's exactly the same. Eh? They only come for the finals. Eh?
Yeah.
And it's usually expats.
But that's a bit normal, I think.
But they invest so much money.
There's a lot of money.
Well, eh?
And they always say, but we're putting money in the grassroots as well. We develop tennis. It's to develop tennis, but there's not much development going on. You have to be realistic. It's about money, and that's a fact here with the padel circuit as well. I mean, they try to make it more international, going to Miami, going to the Middle East, going where the money is. That's normal. That's economical.
Yeah.
And they always been dominated by the Spanish-speaking countries. A lot of South America, Spain. And now they try to make it more international. They have to if they want to grow the sport, but they still have to take some steps. I think.
Is there, for example, something in Oceania, in Australia, New Zealand, Tasmania? Is there something?
There is no Premier Padel, but there are some FIP. At the beginning of the year, there were 2 FIPs in Australia. I think Melbourne and another city, I don't know, but there were 2 in Australia. It's growing now in Oceania as well. I know there are some FIP in Indonesia, in Bali. So there are some tournaments there, but it's still the beginning. They're a bit late. Let's say they have a few years late, but it's growing there as well. Yeah.
You know who is the ambassador in Australia for padel?
Pat Rafter.
Yeah. So that's a famous famous sportsman
that
in
helps.
Australia, and that helps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we need ex-tennis players, more ex-tennis players to be the ambassador?
But I think they need
because Rafter,
everything.
of course,
They need famous people to give a certain image for the sport, and that's what's happening in Australia. I know that the last 2 or 3 Australian Opens tennis, there always was a padel court on site as well to make publicity for the sport.
Yeah, we saw it during the French Open.
In
the last
as well.
couple of days, some of the courts become padel courts. Eh?
Yeah, you always need famous people, and I think especially in countries where padel is not developed well yet, you need images. I think maybe now, of course, in Spain, in Argentina, maybe in Sweden, you don't need much more image, but in Australia, it helps, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Did you play the Paris tournament at Roland Garros?
Yes, I played the last 2 years, I think.
Okay. And did you play Roland Garros in juniors or in tennis?
In tennis, in juniors, not
so
in...
you're the one played the 2 different sports at the same site.
Patrick Aumont from Padel Vlaanderen, he checked, and I think there is one woman, Marta Marrero. She played both as well.
Yeah, that's true.
In the men's, I think I'm not sure, but in women,
Marrero
Marta
is participating
Marrero.
here, I think.
It's possible.
Yeah. Marta Marrero, indeed.
She's playing here. Yeah.
She's playing here as well. Eh?
Yeah.
Okay. I was planning to ask this later, but since we're talking about popularity and so on, I looked it up and I saw that, we know that squash is an Olympic sport in LA.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that padel can become an Olympic sport?
I think yes. I think it's in a good way to be an Olympic sport when we don't know, but I'm sure it will be one day.
Yeah, because I looked it up also. In the top 20, in the men's definitely, you have 10 different nationalities. Yeah,
in squash.
In squash.
Yeah, in padel, no.
That's a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, we need time, I think, to have other nationalities in the top. That's for sure. Now it's only Spanish players and Argentinian players that they dominate padel since 50 years. But there are more and more countries where the next generation is growing, in Sweden, in France, in Italy, in Portugal, well, in Belgium as well, even if we need more time, but it's coming. So I don't know when, but it will come one day where we will have many more nationalities in the top 100, I think. It's just we need, let's say 1 or 2 more generations.
Yeah. So 2050?
I think it can be Olympic in 2032, but
32,
to have
Canberra.
Maybe. Let's hope.
Wow.
But to have a lot of different nationalities, yes, maybe wait 2050.
Yeah.
I think padel has everything to become an Olympic sport.
Well,
It's as popularity. Everybody likes to play it. Everybody likes to watch it. It's growing. It's still growing massively. The only problem is that the circuit, like we now had the boycott and all the organizations problems that are happening, it doesn't give a good image. There are 2 or 3 professional circuits. You have the Premier Padel, you have the A1 circuit in South America or in Europe a bit.
More and more in Europe as well. This circuit,
that gives an image. What's happening there? They don't even control their own sport, and before they have to. Clean up that mess, I think, and get the organization professional and international, and then they can apply to become Olympic, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, Philippe is right. That's for sure. It's always a little bit of a mess, even when I speak to friends or people that like padel and watch, they don't know how is it working, why FIP, Premier Padel, why A1, they don't know. There are so many different communications, so it's tough to understand exactly how it's going on. Also, I think to grow the popularity of padel, it's like in tennis, maybe let's say 60 years ago, I think the top players were winning more easy the first matches against the other players because they had a coach, they had the physical coach, they were training in nice places, and the others, let's say the ones that were 80 till 200, let's say they had 3 rackets and they were coming and playing, so of course the gap was high. I think in padel, it's happening now that the top teams like, let's say, Tapia Coelho, Galan Cincoto, you know they're going to win the first 2-3 matches because there is a gap of level. I think the whole circuit needs to help maybe a little bit more the players that are ranked from 50 till, let's say, 200. So there is not that much of a gap, and the matches are more interesting to watch from the first round.
Yeah. Because in tennis, that's not the case, eh?
Not
That's
anymore.
not the case anymore, but it was like 30 years ago, it was the same.
Not anymore, no. Alcaraz lost, let's say, 2 times in first or second round, then he won Monte Carlo, but he doesn't win every tournament. Now the final in padel, it's always the same final.
We know more or less who is going to play the finals.
Well, 1 and 2, it's top and bottom of the draw, so there is like 80% chance we have Tapia Coelho against Galan Cincoto in the final.
But it's good that they mix up between them, that they change the pairs between them, and so sometimes you see other faces because they mix up the teams.
That's right. But I think Tapia Coelho, they will keep playing together for many years.
Yeah, because they win a lot.
It seems like, but you never know.
Are they as strong, like Tapia Coelho and Cincoto, Galan? Are they as strong like Nadal, Federer, Djokovic? Can you compare a bit like the dominance of those pairs with the tennis players?
The dominance of the circuit, I think yes, because if you look at the winners, well, it's between 3 pairs. I think the winners of the past 2 years maybe, or there is one exception, but I think Tapia Coelho won more than 50% of the tournaments. So yes. I think they're dominating the circuits, a lot.
But they still don't have the exposure that a Federer, a Djokovic, Nadal have.
Clearly not.
Hey, when you go in the street in Brussels and suppose Djokovic is walking around or Federer, everyone knows, look. But when Coelho or Tapia are walking around in Brussels or in Antwerp,
if they walk close to a padel club,
that's right.
But a lot of padel fans in Belgium, so I think some people would recognize them.
Were you, as a player, starstruck? Did you have some contact with the top players?
Not much. It depended on your results, actually. Because when I played semifinals in Roland Garros, the first thing I noticed was that, like, Michael Cheng, who was like top 5 at the time, he said congratulations to me when I played well in Paris. But otherwise, you're more or less neglected by the top players.
Yeah. And how is it? Can you establish contact with Coelho, Tapia, Cincoto, Galan, all of them?
More and more. They are more accessible, I think, than in tennis, because I think, let's say, Djokovic, when he's playing Roland Garros, you don't see him often because he doesn't stay in the stadium, because otherwise there are too many people coming to him. In padel, it's not the case, so yes, I know now. I think they know me more and more. It was not the case last year, that's for sure. But now that I went to top 100 and that they see me also at every tournament, they know my face. Okay, maybe they just say hi, or maybe we don't speak so much, but at least they know, I think, who I am. It's the first step. And also, well, we were coached by Mati Diaz with Thomas Legg, so he knows a lot of players, so they say hi to him. Well, if I'm standing next to him, then they say hi to you, of course, because otherwise it's a little bit rude. So it's like that.
And do you practice together sometimes? Does it happen?
Yes, with the top pairs, it's difficult to have them, but with the pairs, let's say from 6 till the rest of the pairs, yes, it's possible. We all have everyone numbers because we were all added in the WhatsApp group, so you could just text them. Also in padel, there is this particularity that when you play against someone, you cannot play in the same color of the other team. So you have to ask them, or they have to tell you which color they're playing, so you don't play the same color.
That's
so for
good.
Example,
That's better than in tennis.
For example, in Cancun, we were playing Stupa Lebron, and well, I asked Stupa, hey Stupa, what color are you going to play today? He told me we go, I think he was black. I said, okay, then we go white.
Okay.
Well, that's it. The conversation stops, but...
Wow, because in doubles in tennis, it can happen that the two teams have exactly the same clothing.
Yeah,
also.
that's one of the. I wouldn't say a problem, but a lot of people find it disturbing that if two players play against each other, they have the same clothes.
I think it's a good good thing to have different colors. It's
so we can learn from padel.
Not much, but this maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Clement, have you known growing up Philippe as a tennis player?
Yes, I saw him, of course, playing tennis. Well, I don't know him personally, but
That's why we have this podcast.
Nice to meet you. But no, as a kid playing tennis, of course, I knew who Philippe was, and I was watching tennis as a fan, of course.
Yeah. You have to tell us your story. I know you've told your story in a couple of magazines, but it's crazy because I know Ukkel, and I know Ukkel because I did for my job. I also followed hockey.
Okay.
Your mom?
Yeah.
National team, many years. All of your family hockey?
Yeah.
That's where you started.
Yeah, we were, whole family is playing hockey. Little cousin, brother, sister, parents, whoever in the family, we always played hockey. So as a kid, of course, I was playing hockey in Ukkel Sport, because my whole family was playing there. My mom was playing in the national team for 15 years, I think, almost 20 years with her sister in the national team as well. And my uncle was the coach for some years, the brother of my dad. So it's the sport of the family. But then, so I started with hockey. And then when I grew up, the coach told me, you should try tennis because you have some abilities in hockey that might be good in tennis. So I tried. First, I was playing just once a week in a group with my brother. And then, I was playing better and better. I was enjoying maybe, let's say, more tennis than hockey. And that's how it started.
That's how it started. Philippe, you met a couple of weeks ago, Felix de Nayer.
Yeah.
He was player in the... Did you ever play him? Because he was a good tennis player. Yeah. As a junior, as a youngster?
No, never played him in tennis. I watched him many times in hockey, but no, I don't know him personally as well.
Okay. You started playing tennis, but you were not just good, you were very good, eh? I looked it up because I remember the name, but I didn't know you were number 8 at a given moment.
Yeah,
in juniors world ranking.
Yes, I was better in juniors than in adults, that's for sure. And then it got more and more complicated. But yes, in juniors, all the signals were green. Let's say everything was good. Then still until 20, I think the progression was okay because at 20 I was 245, so it's the normal evolution. Let's say a good one. But then the level is high, it's tough. I started losing maybe more matches, got a bit more injuries, and then it's complicated and you get stuck between this ranking from 200 to 400, between futures and challengers, and there are many players and it's tough.
Yeah. But when I look at it, I saw that, if, for example, yesterday Zverev won the tournament in Munich. You played a final against him in juniors. You lost very close in 3 sets. You played Berrettini. And we all now know Zizou Bergs. He's becoming, he's 25 years old now.
Yeah.
50 in the world. You beat him twice.
Yeah.
So...
he was younger, but I won him twice in futures, I think. One in Greece that I remember because I played really well that match, so I remember that one. Yeah, I think he had more shots in his tennis as well. Zizou, he's powerful, he's physically really well. I was more a grinder, let's say. I was not serving so good. I had not so many powerful shots, so every match was tough. I had to win it tactically and physically more than really tennistically because I had not so many powerful shots. So, I'm happy for him. And for me, I had a different life afterwards.
But I think it must be difficult because now you see Zverev, you see Berrettini, you see Zizou. They're making a big career now. Yeah, it could have been you. That must be very tough.
I don't know if it's tough. Yes, yeah.
no, but-
Clement.
It's not that tough. Of course, it's a dream as a kid to be one of the top players. So it's a dream I will never make. But it's okay. I have other dreams. The life goes on. I enjoyed and I have no regret. I tried. I did my best. I think I played good tennis, not like the best players, but I was playing okay. So I'm happy with what I did. And then, yeah, I just started another life, which is also nice at the end.
Yeah, yeah.
And you said you were like more like a grinder on the tennis
Yeah.
court. Did you? How did you become then an aggressive padel player? Because you play on the left.
Yeah, I play on the left. Yeah, I don't know actually. When I started playing padel, I started on the right with my best friend, with François Azzola, that played yesterday. And then they told me, no, you have good volleys, play on the left. While the guys that were playing padel for more years at that time, so let's say it was Laurent Montoisy, Jérémy Gala, they told me, no, with your abilities, you should play on the left. So I said, okay, I don't know much, so I'll go on the left. And then it started like this. And yes, I have an aggressive game style in padel, which I completely don't have in tennis, but I don't know. When I started padel, I started this way. So it's not like I made a change or something. It just happened.
And was it easy, the switch from tennis to padel?
Well, for the first year, I was really not playing much. Once a month, I think, with friends. Just like everyone, actually. The people like padel, they play, they go, they have a drink. I started like this. I didn't want to play competitive padel or a career. I started with friends. And
Was it before COVID?
I started 5 years ago. So
Well, yeah.
I
Yeah,
think,
2020.
yeah, 2020. Yeah, at the end of COVID, I think, or maybe,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
or during we could play outside at some time. I don't know, but almost that period, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then I didn't take many lessons, a few, but not so much. I just learned by watching a lot of padel on the TV, and then by playing with friends, playing, and then I started playing tournaments, and I liked it, so I played more and more tournaments, and I just improved this way.
Philippe, when you, because of injuries and because you've had enough of it, when you finished your tennis career, suppose padel had been already what it is now, you could have maybe made the switch as well.
I was thinking about that, and probably would have loved it, but I don't know if
because
I could have made
you
a
really
switch.
love
I don't
it,
know.
eh?
Yeah, I do really like it, but I don't know if I could have made the switch. Yeah, depends on injuries, and when I stopped, I was already 30 years old as well. So I mean, yeah, a bit late. If you need 4 or 5 years to become a professional padel player,
It's late, but
probably a bit
possible.
late.
With your abilities, probably it's possible.
I know, but there are not so many tennis players who become professional padel players.
No,
We talked about Marta Marrero. There's another girl,
Arabuena.
Arabuena.
Yeah,
No, there are not so many. True, I know some. There is
None in the
Sinicropi,
men's?
an Italian, but he's 200 in the FIP ranking. There were Jorge Ruiz, but no, not so many. Because also you finish your tennis career so late. I stopped it early because of injuries. That's why also I could make the switch.
Yeah.
But if you finish, let's say, well, you 30, it's also quite soon.
Yeah.
But if you finish normally, let's say 34, 35, it's late to start another sport.
But
So-
I think, sorry.
No, no.
I read about Arabuena, and she was 80 in the world when she stopped tennis because she didn't like the grinding of the circuit and the emotional pressure that was on her. And then she started playing padel because you were 2 on the court and it's different, and she liked it. And now I think she's like 60 or 80 in the world.
Yeah. She's always in the main draw, maybe not in P2. I don't know if she's in quali here. I don't know, but she's around 50, let's say.
But talking about the atmosphere on the 2 tours, the tennis tour, the padel tour, is it comparable or is it totally different?
It's a little different, but not totally different. The difference is here you always travel with your partner, so you're always 2. It's still a much smaller world, the padel, than the tennis. Also, well, tennis is an individual sport, so everyone is doing his own business, let's say. In padel, they all practice in the same academies, you're always in pairs, so there is more a group atmosphere. But I think with time, we will probably lose it because it will become more and more professional. So the pairs, now it's already starting, but it's the only beginning. Yanguas, he has his own coach, but he's the only one to have his own coach. All the other pairs, they have a coach, but in an academy, so the coach is coaching also other pairs. Let's say the coach of Galan, he has 2 other pairs probably here. Mati Diaz, when he's coming to coach in a tournament, he has 4 pairs.
But that's strange, because he will coach against his own players then.
If it's that case, then he's not coaching.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we had the case in Doha, for example, I was playing with Thomas, so we were supposed to be coached by Mati, but we were playing against Dylan Guichard, which is also practicing in his academy, so nobody had a coach for that match. And then the next match, well, we had Mati again.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it will change, because the top players, they're earning more and more money, so they have the money to invest and to have a private coach only for their team, not to have that issue that can happen. So it will change, but for now, it's only Yanguas that have his own coach, and the rest.
And nobody
coaching
is
different
making
teams.
a problem of that.
No, because it's like this for many years, so they're used to it.
Yeah.
For me, it was strange when I arrived. I was, oh yeah, it's happening like this, but they were all saying to me like, yes, why? And okay, no, in tennis it's not like that, but okay.
I read an interview with LeBron from a few years ago, and he said like padel is more or less a new sport. I mean, professionally, and we are still developing, and coaches, they know not everything. They don't know much. Actually, he said. I thought it was strange that he said that, but he said the sport is so new that they still have to learn about injury prevention, about nutrition, about all that psychological approach.
Aspects,
that sort of stuff that the coaches they don't have the experience about, and he said we still need to develop all that structure to get better coaches and better players and more professional players.
Yeah. And do you have an advantage there, because you come out of tennis, where you already spoke about nutrition, about health, about physio, about mental health care and that sort of stuff, taking it into padel?
Yeah, I think it gave me a little advantage, but I think the top pairs, they are doing it okay, but the rest of the pairs not so well. That's true. Also, they are not used to travel so much. They used to play World Padel Tour, and basically 80% of the circuit was played in Spain, so they were not traveling. So for them, now it's 3 years that it's new, but for them it's new as well, like Philippe said. So
all the jet lag and stuff, and that's something.
It's changing fast. Also for them.
Yeah. Is Madrid the capital of the world for padel?
Madrid and Barcelona, that's for sure. If you want to train with the top players and the top coaches, for now, you have to go to Madrid or Barcelona.
And have you done it? Have you been?
I've been to Madrid few weeks. Barcelona, never, no. I don't have so much time to go and practice there, but I went a few times.
And is it easy to get into an academy? Say, you want to go for 2 weeks, train with the top players. You say, I'm coming over. Is it?
Yeah, it's
Does
easy.
it cost money? I don't know how it works.
Yeah, but it's not expensive. It's much cheaper than tennis to practice. Yeah, you just need to know a player. You ask him, where do you practice? He will say, I practice in an academy in Madrid or Barcelona, because that's where they all practice. And then he will ask the coach, and they will always say okay. And depending on your level, they will put you in the group with the top players or less.
Okay.
Depending on your level. For example, I think it's around 500 euros per month. You have the paddle and the physical coaching there in Madrid. Well, you don't have the apartment and the food, but you have the coaching academy structure.
Yeah, but
so it's not so much.
Yeah, that's cheap.
Yeah,
because if you want an hour's tennis lesson by a good coach here, even in Belgium, you pay already 100, 150 euros, more maybe?
For sure, yeah.
It's cheap. So, it's really cheap. Well, if you come for only 1 week or 2 weeks, they make you pay a little bit more. But if you say, okay, I go to Madrid, let's say in CEPAC, it's the Academy of Mati Diaz. Well, Thomas is paying 440 euros a month for all year, so it's like 5,000, a bit more than 5,000 euros. So it's not so much. If you want to do that in tennis, they will ask you, I don't know, maybe 20,000.
And in tennis, you never heard about that. Eh? I mean, if you go to a academy of another competitor or a coach, you never heard. Yeah, sometimes like Federer asked some players to come in the winter to practice with him in Dubai.
Yeah,
or
in Dubai,
Nadal asked probably some players.
I think who was it? Was it Gilles Arnaud Bailly who was invited by Alcaraz to come and play
Alcaraz,
there?
he played a few days.
Nice.
Yeah.
He played a few days.
2 years ago, I think.
Okay.
So
In the south.
Yeah, in tennis it works more with private coaches, and like Goffin, he trains in Dubai, sometimes with Alexander Miller or with other players, but it's just they text each other and they practice. It's not like there is an academy with 15 players and you can just come which day you like and just come and play.
So the atmosphere is more relaxed, I would say, in the padel circuit. Do you feel the same pressure before you go on court for a match as in a tennis match before?
I think I have less pressure, but it's also because it's at a different stage of my life. But in general, I think yes, there is less stress in the padel area, because also there are less in stake. I think less money, less everything, and also the players that are in the main draw, their level is a little bit higher than the ones in the quali, so they know they still have their place in the main draw. They are not so much in danger. Okay. Like in tennis, you do 3 months quite bad. Well, you go down in the ranking. You're not in the main draw in the slam, so you don't get the money you counted on it to pay for your season. So I think it's a bit more stress with all that. That in padel they are more sure about their place, that they won't drop so much, so it's a little bit less stress for them, I think. But it will change with time, I think.
Yeah, because they're speaking about changing the system for the rankings, I think.
Yeah, they added more points in FIP. There are a little bit less points in Premier Padel. The draws, were a little bit smaller, so it's changing a little bit, but let's see.
Does it also help? You get on the court being the underdog? Yeah, okay. I have everything to win, nothing to lose.
It helps, yes, that's for sure.
You played LeBron and Stupa in Cancun. How was that?
Well, we lost 2-6-4 at the end, so it wasn't a bad match, but well, they were much better, that's for sure. But was nice experience. I played also once Galan when he was playing with LeBron, so Galan LeBron, when it was World Padel Tour at that time. So I've played now against a few top players. Well, we played Tapiacuelo here 2 years ago with Maxime. Also, well, there is a difference of level, that's for sure. But yes, it's always nice to go on court and know you're the underdog and you have everything to win. So just play and enjoy.
About choosing a partner, how difficult is that? Because now you play here with...
choosing is already a luck. I'm not choosing.
Okay. Okay.
Did your partner choose you?
Well, it's tough. The partner system, it's tough. There is no contract. There is nothing between the players, so it can stop or goes on. Well, you never know. The problem also is I don't practice in Spain, so I'm not there with all the players. So the coaches, they don't see me often. They see me on tournaments. I don't speak so well Spanish as well, so it's more complicated to discuss with your partner. And then there is the points issue. You need a minimum of points to enter the qualis or the main draw in Premier Padel. So you always look for a partner with points so you can enter the tournaments. Now I have enough points to enter the qualis in every Premier Padel, so that's not an issue anymore for me, but it is for other players. And then it's like, okay, yeah, you just text the players and say, yeah, you want to try 2-3 tournaments? Says yes, no. Then someone texts you. You say, no, this guy I think is not good enough for me, so no. Then I text this guy because I think he's good, and he says no because he thinks you're not good enough for him. Then there is also the position, because I'm always playing on the left, so I need the right side players, so I have only half of the players possible to play with me. Yeah. So it's tough. And then one bad tournament, and then he says, no, we stop because I don't think we are playing good together. Or maybe he has a better opportunity. Let's say one better guy asks him to play. He says, sorry, I cannot refuse this guy because, well, he's better than you. So, or he has more points than you. So he's changing. So there is a lot of change. And also, the issue at our ranking is that if there is a change in the top pairs, Well, it's going down, 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 and down until us. Because let's say if Galan split with Cinquotto, Galan asks, I don't know, LeBron. LeBron says yes because Galan is better than his partner. Then the other guy asks one guy down, and he says yes because he's better than my partner.
Yeah.
And then it goes down and down and down and down. So
Yeah.
if there is
It's
one
a
change,
cascade.
there is 50 changes. So
Yeah.
it's always tough.
But LeBron is not going to ask you to play.
No.
No.
Because he's changed a lot.
Yeah, he's changing a lot.
playing with another player here, Ruiz, I think. and-
Here he's playing with Ruiz because Stupa is injured. So
he's
it's
injured.
only this tournament.
Okay.
And then they go back together.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then Ruiz, he said to his partner, sorry, LeBron is asking me for here, so I will play with him. And then the other guy asked another guy, I have no partner anymore, can you play? And he said yes, because he's better than his. And then at the end, one change is 20 changes.
So the most stressful thing in padel is not to get on court and to perform well. No, it's to find a good partner and not to lose that partner.
But it's strange because it's
Yeah.
really doubles. I mean, you have to, the chemical
Yeah.
relationship must be on
Yeah.
point. And if you only play 2 tournaments with one guy and then 2 tournaments with another guy, how can you build up something?
You don't build up some, but there are some that plays for many years together because they believe in the project. So there are different opinions on it.
Yeah.
But at the end, what I see is that there are many changes. And yeah, for my part, I would like to play 5 years with the same player, but
Yeah.
it's just I started low in the ranking, so I increased, then I had better opportunities, so I said yes, and then I increased again, and I had better opportunities, so I said yes. And then maybe the guy, said no, you're not, so I played with another one. So I always try to have the best partner for me, because at the end you play with someone, but it's also only your career. You win points for you, so they're thinking about the pair, but also about themselves.
It's complicated.
So it's, you have to
the
find-
relationship is
No, but
complicated.
it almost sounds like Formula One, eh?
Yeah, it's a bit like that.
Yeah. Also, there are some pairs that have a common sponsor.
Yeah.
So they have to play together for at least 1 year or something. It was like Augsburger Liebach. They were in Knox Academy. I don't know exactly their contracts, but I think they had to play together because they played many years together. So, well, it's like that.
Yeah.
You just have to find your way in it.
And now you have a Frenchman,
Yes.
Thomas Legge.
Yes.
Are you happy about it?
Well, we played one tournament last year. We won the tournament. But at that time, after that tournament, he asked me, can you play more tournaments together? But I already said yes to another partner, so I didn't want to be bad with the other guy because we didn't even try one tournament together. So I could not tell him, no, I play with Thomas because I think we are better together, but we haven't tried to play together. So I kept with another one. Then Thomas had another partner, so he was not free anymore.
Yeah.
And well, now I'm playing with him. Yeah, we played Doha last week. Was going well. Let's see this week. We only said we would play these 2 tournaments together, and then we would see for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
For now, it's going well, so probably we will keep on playing together, but let's see.
You said he is like 22 or 23 years
He's
old?
23
Is
years
he
old.
professional? Professional?
Yeah, he lives in Madrid for 5 years now. So he's doing only paddle for 5 years.
And can he live from the sport?
Yeah, from sponsors.
From
mostly.
sponsors.
He had quite some sponsors because he's the first one in France. The market in France is bigger than the one in Belgium. So he's living out of paddle. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he's doing some exhibitions as well to earn money, but he's living correctly out of it.
Okay.
Can you live from just playing padel?
I could, but tough life. Let's say I could not do everything I want to do, but mostly with the sponsors as well and the help from the federation. I'm lucky that I'm helped by Padel One Brussels, by Padel Belgium this year as well. Yeah. So I could live out of it, but well, we just bought a house with my girlfriend as well. So now, no, I could not. No, but you could make it.
Yeah. So therefore, let's maybe talk about 2024. I looked at your schedule.
Yes.
My God, it was crazy. I mean, because you combine, you have your own academy.
Yeah.
You work for AFT, where you are sports director of Padel, and then you play tournaments almost every week, Philippe, how does he do it?
I don't know. You have to ask him. Multitasking.
I mean, when you were a professional player, okay, now and then you had a training period, and then you played some tournaments. You prepared for grass, you prepared for clay courts, for hard courts, but you had time to relax, which is crucial. But
the surface is always the same in padel. That's one thing.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, that's
you don't have to prepare for grass or clay or whatever. It's always the same surface. Well, it's been 2-3 heavy years now that I've done, that's for sure. I could not do it for 25 more years, that's for sure. But I'm young, I have energy, I'm doing stuff that I really like. So I don't feel it's like, oh, I have to do this. No, it's always fun because I'm passionate about it. But true, yes, it's heavy. It's just I have to organize it well. I have also some people that I can count on and rely on that are working really well. In the academy, well, Francois is doing a great job, so I can count on him when I'm not there or I cannot do stuff. I know he will take over. In AFT, well, the name changed. Now it's Padel Vlaanderen Brussels. So I will not make the mistake. You can. That's not.
I can make it, but I will never do it again.
But Céline is doing a great job as well.
Padel Vlaanderen Brussels. Okay.
Yeah, and then traveling, yes. That's maybe the heaviest part is the planes, because in padel that's the issue. It's getting more international, but we have to go everywhere at any time. But yeah.
What is your role as a sports director in the French-speaking part?
Yeah, now it's more to develop the the classment. That's still my part, and then it's basically with the kids. We are doing practices the Wednesdays, so to try
with the best kids.
Yeah, the best kids. I have still to go on different clubs to see if they have kids that they have a potential to play better. Then we invite them on Wednesdays. Now we have between 10 and 15 kids. So I have to manage that structure with the coaches, do the planning, help them, and then I have all the part with Padel Belgium, with Jesse, with the national team, the selections, to make a plan of the, let's say, the trainings of the year, to help in the logistics, with the plane, the hotels.
It's not strange that you're organizing for yourself? And,
yes,
and you're selecting yourself.
I'm part of a
team.
Yeah, the team to select, but at the end it's the coaches that do their selection, and we just try to challenge them and see if we can find something that is not perfect or that they cannot explain. So at least when they do their selection, they know they are ready and they thought about everything. Well, it's strange in a way, but it's also good in a way, because I know
you're on the court, you're in the middle of everything,
and when you're still the best, it's hard to leave yourself out.
Yeah. For now, yes, that's true. It's not tricky because, well, I'm the best ranked, so it's not like I'm almost not in it, and then I put myself in it. That's not the case. If we arrive to that point, then I would just not do it anymore, because it's not correct, I think. But for now, it's not the case, so that's okay. But yeah, and I like it at the end. And
how is it with the players, young players with potential in Belgium?
It's growing. I played Saturday Interclub, and in my team we have one young kid. He's 15 and a half. We played together. He's already, well, he's P700, but he plays P1000 really easily, I would say. There are more and more kids, but still we don't have so many. When we have one or two, it's like, oh yeah, we have a good kid. So I think in a way it's not good, because we we invite you, and they feel also not that they're special, but that there are not so many. So they feel already they're a little bit the best of their age, even though maybe they're not the best comparing in Europe, because, well, the level is not high enough, but it's growing. We have more and more kids, which is good.
And the 15-year-old, does he think about getting a career in padel maybe in 3 years' time or 4 years?
Now he says yes, he wants to do it. Let's see at 18 or so with the parents what they want to do, if he needs to study. It would be really nice, I think, in the future for our national teams, if we have now, let's say, at 18, 10, 15 players that go to Spain and do only padel for 2-3 years, it would help and increase the level a lot, I think. But that's their choice.
Yeah. So you have lots of contact with the parents. Do you have the impression
Yes.
that parents still want their children first to try tennis and then padel, or do they immediately say, "Okay, no, we go for padel"?
Depends. Now we have more and more parents that when we started our academy 4 years ago, yes, we had this. The parents were like, "Oh, only a padel camp. It feels like we don't know if it's nice. They don't know." But now we have. It's 4 years back, so they know it's well organized. It's okay for the kids, so they're not scared anymore. They just say, "Yeah, we put the kids in a padel camp because they like it, and we know it's well organized, so it's okay." But only now. 4 years ago, it was not the case. Also, the good kids that play well that we have, we still have to educate the parents. I always find it surprising when I meet the parents and the kids. When I was, also I come from a family that play sports in a high level, so maybe it's different, but I felt I was educated to not high level, but to sport. Like, okay, you warm up, you play, you finish, you take your shower, and then we go. Now it's like more we have talented kids, but that come from a club aspect, and they don't have that part, like let's say the nutrition, the sleep, the warm up, all this part they don't know about it because it's new. It's just like there are kids that were playing well in clubs, and then suddenly I'm in the top 3 in Belgium and I'm invited to practices, but they don't know
which is crazy, I think.
But it's but it's still the beginning. But now we are educating them more and more, but still, sometimes you feel, these parents or this kid, we have to do maybe more educational work because they don't know what it is, high-level competitions.
So you have 10, 15 kids coming on Wednesday, so it's growing.
Yep.
What about the Flemish-speaking part?
Well, I think they have much more, but they don't have a regularly practice every week. I think there is the Padel Belgium national practices once a month. And they have more, I think they have in Limburg, they have more kids coming together to practice. But I don't know in the other areas. But they have more kids, that's for sure.
Okay. You're 29 years old.
Yes.
Okay. How ambitious are you still, Clement?
Well, I think I can still improve. Because at the end, I'm only playing padel for 5 years. So the other guys against who we compete, they're playing padel for 20 years. So I think I can still improve. But in a way, I'm also 29. Not that it's old, but still in a high-level sport. It's
and
not young.
people always look at numbers. You're in the top 100. You're the first Belgian in the 100s.
Yeah.
92.
Yep.
Okay, it's just a number, but is it possible to go higher up?
Well, I think today I will increase a little bit because they will add the points from last week of Doha. So let's say I think I can go up 3-4 places, maybe. Let's see.
Do you put yourself goals? Do you say I want to go to the top 50 or?
Not anymore. The top 100 was really a goal because it's symbolic and it's top 100. It's something. No, I really want to enjoy. I want to play the best tournaments. I want to compete against the best pairs and just enjoy what I'm doing. And let's see if I can go higher. Of course, I would like to go higher, but it's not like really a goal to be top 50 or top 40. No, because in a way I know that I'm not doing everything to be the best possible because I'm working. Besides, if I say I want to be top 10, then okay, I would just go and live in Madrid and play every day and see and really do my best. But that's not what I'm doing. So I cannot say, I want to be top 20 if I'm not doing everything to be top 20. It's a little bit strange also. So I want to do the best possible, but in the way I'm doing it now, which is not the best to be the best.
I got a viewer's question.
Yeah, okay.
And they want to know what the difference is between you and a top player.
Well, there are a lot of differences, but I think it's sometimes tough to see the differences. It's just they do a little bit everything better. The smashes, they make it come back from so much back in the court. Well, my smash is not my best weapon. I have a good vibra, but the the kick smash, let's say, is not my best weapon. They do it much better. And then the rest, I think, is a little bit of everything. Positioning, effects, speeds. Well, tactically as well, probably they have more solutions that I still don't see because I don't have many years like them playing. So I would say a little bit of everything, but the only thing for sure is the smash.
Okay. And then another question was, why do you play with such a small grip?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Sometimes you play backhand with two hands,
Yeah.
and you still have a very
Yeah,
small
the
grip.
second hand is just on the racket, on nothing. I play with this. When I started, it was normal, and then it got shorter and shorter because now I play with Quickma. I like the hardness of the racket. It's just I don't like it so much the balance of the racket. So I try to have the more weight possible on top of the racket and the less possible in the grip.
Okay.
So they could not make the racket exactly how I want to have it. So I try to have the less weight in the grip. So I play with half a grip and half an over grip. So I win, let's say, 5 grams. And then I add, depending on the rackets, from 3 to 6 grams on top. So the balance is more how I like it. And well, then the grip is more. But that's okay.
Okay. I didn't know you could add some.
There are some
thing.
brands where you could add like a stick where it's already on the racket and they sell it and you can just put it in.
Okay.
For me, it's just weight like Dieter does in tennis. You just add weight. And I spoke to him, but he doesn't want to do it for padel, but it's possible.
Okay.
There is a business for him. If he wants to do it, you can do it also.
Yeah.
Remove the grip, do the grip like, well, in tennis, there are some people that like a round grip, more square grip, more weight on the top. The swing weight, at the end, it's the same.
It's the
So,
same.
but I mean, rackets technology, it's improving day by day.
Yeah, it's improving, and the players at the beginning they were not so focused, let's say, on these things.
Yeah.
But now the top
Yeah,
players,
because
they
it
are
can
aware
make a
of it.
difference.
It can make a
it's
difference.
in the details.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, when you look at the rankings, it's Argentina, it's Spain. Can anyone, other than a Spanish player or an Argentinian player, get close to the top 20 in the coming years?
In the 2-3 years, I would say no, because I don't see anyone, and the younger future stars, they are Spanish still. So in the, let's say, 2-3 years, top 20, no, I would say no. But in 5-10 years, maybe. In Sweden, it's growing a lot. They have kids that play really well. In France as well, it could be, but still, yeah, in many years, I think.
So you also told us that you want to improve and get higher up. But yeah, you said you bought a house, so you have a girlfriend, so there is another life coming.
Yeah, also, like I said, I'm 29. I don't want, well, we want to have a family, of course, with my girlfriend, and I don't want to be a dad always away. I know I will be a little bit because I like to do a lot of things, but still not too much away. So yeah, I think I'll play for 2-3 years. I don't know exactly, but when we will have kids, for sure I will not travel that much anymore.
Mm-hmm. When Clement Geens is gone, I mean, as a padel player,
Yeah.
who will be the next one? The next Belgian in the top 100?
Difficult to say. We have now Isaac Huisveld. Well, he's playing here as well. He's practicing in Spain in the Knox Academy, and so in Barcelona he's playing. He's young, he's talented, so let's see how far he can go. Still, Maxime Deloyer is young. He's not playing internationally anymore, even though I think he could have the potential to be a really good player, but he doesn't want to travel so much. And then I think we have to look at younger kids. From 14 till 17, there are many kids, but who can get to the top, we don't know. Who really want to play only padel and go and practice in Spain, we don't know as well. So we need a little bit more time to see.
Okay.
You're playing here this tournament, first round against a real phenomenon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tolito Aguire,
Yes.
a little bit not really a professionally looking
No.
athlete, but incredibly talented,
Yes.
and he's like the king of YouTube and Instagram because he has so many trick shots.
Yeah.
Will you try to do a trick shot against him?
I think he will do much more trick shots than me. I'm not really the type of player that does a lot of trick shots, even though I would like, but it's not for me. But let's see, it will be fun. For sure it will be entertaining, I think, because there are the other pair, Tolito and Gonzalo Alfonso. They are always doing incredible shots. It's always spectacular. They always have the highlights on YouTube, Instagram, so it will be nice.
But you have chances to beat them.
Well, they are pair number 14, but I think they got to number 14 also because they played while the top pairs were not playing during the boycott. So I think we can, of course, we have a chance to win. It's on paper a better team than us, but not by far, let's say. I think we have a chance.
Not that they are unbeatable.
No, they're not unbeatable. It's not like we play Tapia Coelho or Galan Cincoto. Let's say the top 6 pairs, it's a little bit that we have zero chance, but against them, that's not the case. Thomas played against them in Miami in qualis. He lost 6-4, 7-5, so 2 close sets. He knows them well, so let's see. We have a chance,
And then with the support of a full center court?
Yeah, with the center courts, we will have the crowd for us, I hope, I think. So it will help us, that's for sure, and we will try to do our best.
Yeah, and that's what every player says. Yeah, that's why we do it, because full crowd, stadium filled, lots of great atmosphere. Yeah.
That's why, that's for sure. It's the only tournament in Belgium with that many people. It's the only Premier Padel in Belgium, so it's the time to do it.
Clement, you started as a hockey player, you became a tennis player, now you are a padel player. Are you living your dream?
Well, I think yes, I'm living the life I would like to live. I'm happy with the life I have, but I would not say it's a dream. As a kid, I was not dreaming of padel because I was not aware of padel. Well, I dreamed, I had hockey dreams as a kid and tennis dreams, and then it changed. But I'm happy how it is.
And now, will you become a golf player after?
I started slowly.
Okay.
Only
you must have the talent if you can play hockey and tennis and padel.
Probably it will be maybe more easy than other people, but I haven't played much yet. My parents are playing a lot. Well, the brother of my girlfriend, I have a lot of friends also playing. So for sure, people will ask me to play when I stop padel, but let's see.
And you still can have a career in golf. It's
in
not
golf,
physical.
Yeah, but some players tried, no? Some tennis players.
The Rockers brothers.
Yeah, they tried, but they didn't really
not that
try.
they wanted to become a professional.
Yeah, they were
them,
thinking a bit about it. I think Christophe Rockers thought about
wanted more, I
it.
think, than Olivier, but I think it's really tough.
Yeah.
The level is really high. I think it's almost impossible, but no golf
That will
career,
be
I
for
think.
fun. That will be for fun.
That will be for fun.
Okay. Clement, it was great having you here. We wish you all the best, of course, here in the tournament, and for the next 2 years definitely to come.
Thank you
very much,
for
Clement.
receiving me. Thank you, Philippe.
Philippe, bedankt ook. Wij nemen hier afscheid. Kom kijken als er nog kaarten zijn naar het toernooi. Dit was een aflevering van Dubbelspel. Graag tot de volgende.